Raise your elbows out of the water and keep your fingers closed. So right now I'm going to demonstrate, and then everybody else can get the opportunity to join in. So let's have some fun with the overarm pull. Make sure elbows and arms come completely out of the water. Be sure to reach all the way out. Keep fingers closed. You don't have to do this or any other lesson perfect. Just try to become as close as you can to the demonstration. As you practice more, you will become more comfortable with the overarm pull. Remember, practice doesn't make you perfect, it just makes you better. The cross stroke is one of the most recognized strokes in swimming. The flutter kick will be used again. Push off the wall slowly and begin your stroke by kicking and pulling with the overarm pull as shown. Keep face in the water. Reach straight out with fingers closed, pull the water straight through. Reach and pull as demonstrated. Try to keep the body as straight as possible. Be sure elbows and arms come out of the water. Be sure to extend the arms as far as possible before pulling the water. Your hands should enter the water in almost direct line above the head. Your hands should enter the water in almost direct line above your head. With the rapid kick, you will notice that your arm pull is slower than your kick, usually about 2 kicks for every arm pull. Try to keep your body as straight as possible. Keep your face in the water while swimming. Continue to repeat until you feel comfortable. Then move on to the next lesson. Boy, you really did a fine job on that overarm pull. Now we got to learn one of the most critical fundamentals of the cross stroke, which is the breathing technique. Many people have problems with the breathing technique, but it's very simple. The main thing to remember is to turn your head to the side, inhale, and blow out in the water. Turn your head to the side, inhale, then blow out in the water. We're going to go over some basic drills in that fundamental, but basically this is the way it's done. Bring your elbows up, turn, breathe, back down, blow out. Elbows up, turn, and breathe. Remember, try not to raise your head, but rather turn your head and back down. Now, class, let's try it. In order to be able to comfortably travel considerable distance while swimming, it's important to learn how to get air. This section of the course will teach you proper breathing techniques for the cross stroke. To start breathing techniques, we'll learn a drill known as bobbing. Go to the edge of the pool while holding the edge of the pool with arms extended. Bend your knees until your head is under the water. While head is underwater, exhale slowly, allowing air to escape your mouth and nose. But before air has been completely released, return to the surface to inhale air again to release in the water. Repeat this process 5 times, then 10, up to 25 times. At no time should you have to hold your breath if done properly. Try to keep your eyes open, stay relaxed, take it slow. Exhale or blow out slowly in the water. Inhale or suck in out of the water. Performing the bobbing drill, we raised our heads straight up to inhale. However, when performing the cross stroke, we will make a slight adjustment to our breathing technique. In order to perform the cross stroke properly and relax, you must turn your head to the side as demonstrated. This allows you to keep your body as straight as possible while performing the stroke. When the head is turned, the lower parts of the body, that is hips and legs, are less difficult to keep at the surface. However, when the head is raised straight up, the hips and legs start to drop, which causes the stroke to be more difficult to perform, as the body position is incorrect and starts to sink. Keep your head as straight as possible and turn to one side instead of raising the head. For now, choose a side you feel comfortable using and turn to this side each time you inhale. Once turning back to the water, slowly exhale and return for air again before completely releasing all air. Now let's take a look at how breathing is performed with the freestyle. Notice how the head rolls to the side for each breath and returns to the water. With each inhale, the kick speed is faster to help support the body while inhaling. At the beginning level, you may choose not to attempt to get air on each stroke, but rather on every 3rd stroke or 4th stroke. This is okay if you are comfortable. Don't breathe on each stroke, but continue to breathe on the same side, which is recommended. The only way to get comfortable with your breathing technique is through lots of practice. Here are some pointers to remember when breathing. Bring arms completely out of the water while breathing. When an arm is out of the water, the other arm should be under the body, pulling the water. Roll head and body to breathing side. To maintain good body position, increase kick speed to breathe, but don't change kicking technique. Continue to practice your breathing technique daily. First start with head turning drills, then practice breathing technique with crawl stroke. Don't get discouraged, as you will eventually become comfortable through practice. I know that crawl stroke can really be exhausting, but we've completed it now, and you all have done a very good job on it. The next thing we're going to do in the class is we're going to learn how to float properly. Learning to float is very important to your overall swim skills. It can improve relaxation, rest time, and time for help to arrive when necessary. 3 common methods of floating are the jellyfish float, the stomach float, and the back float. The key to performing any of these strokes is to relax and keep as much air as possible in your lungs at all times. Because of the various differences in each person's body composition, each person will float at a different level. Some will learn fast, others slow, and some may not be able to float, especially extremely muscular individuals. First, let's learn the jellyfish float. The jellyfish float is done in a tuck or ball position. Take a deep breath, hold it, and assume the tuck position. Be sure to ball up in a tight ball. Place your face on your knees and wrap your arms around the legs. Don't let your air out of your lungs. Relax. You will begin to float. Depending on your body composition, you may sink before you rise to the surface. Keep trying if you can't float. Don't get discouraged. Many people lack floating ability. Practice, practice, practice. Now, let's learn another method of floating, which is the face down on the stomach float. Lie straight out in the water with arms extended. Face should be down in the water, legs straight, relax. Hold air in the lungs and not exhale. Lie in this position, allowing the water to hold you up. Now you are floating. If you float better with your legs open, feel free to do so. As mentioned earlier, depending on your body composition, you may not float as easily as others, and in some cases, not at all. You may move your arms and legs slightly to assist in the floating process, as the main purpose of the float is to rest. Practice until you feel comfortable. Practice, practice, practice. The final float we will learn in the course is the back float. Of the 3 floats we learned in this course, back float is the only float where breathing is possible and recommended. Lie on your back with your arms extended. Keep your legs straight. Keep your head back. Keep your eyes open. Keep your hips and chest up. Don't sit up. Relax and keep this position. If you tend to float easier with your legs apart, it's okay to do so. Whatever makes you comfortable and float easily. Practice, practice, practice. Now, class, we're going to take a brief pause as Ella from Kisses Hair Design is going to join us here at Poolside with some wonderful beauty and hair care tips. Ella, one of the things that I've noticed from many people who have been involved in swimming on a frequent basis is that they're concerned about their hair care. What are some tips that you would give individuals as far as taking care of their hair if they're going to be involved in swimming?
Well, in my experience, many of the customers experience dryness after swimming. So I would recommend pampering the hair prior to swimming and after swimming.
All of the tips that you give pertaining to swimming and hair care, would all these techniques apply also to males as well as females?
Yes, it would, yes.
How about children? Do you have any particular concerns?
The same concerns.
Okay.
Same identical concerns.
Okay. I noticed in my many years of experience in swimming and water safety, particularly with minorities and female black ladies, they are concerned about their hair care. What are some tips that you give that may be particular to a particular, that ethnic group?
Well, basically the same, but due to the dryness of black hair and scalp, I recommend also adding oil to the treatment.
Okay.
Oil and moisture is really the secret.
Ella, would you agree that Swimming shouldn't be something that's hair care, and swimming shouldn't be something that's a major concern. If individuals just follow those basic swimming, those hair care techniques,
That's right.
Tips, then they should be able to enjoy swimming.
That's right. If you swim every day, then you have to follow that same procedure every day.
Okay.
If you swim once a week, then you follow that procedure directly after swimming. Don't wait 2 or 3 hours later. Do it immediately. That way you can counteract the dryness and the harshness of the chlorine.
Would you recommend that people who are going to go swimming and have beauticians, that they let their beauticians know in advance?
Right, right, because there are crucial questions that they can answer even without the customer asking the question, because they know the procedure that the customer should follow prior to and after swimming.
Do you recommend that they use swim caps?
That would help. That would help filter out some of the chlorine.
Okay. Ella, I'd like to thank you for coming out, joining us at swim lessons, and giving some of those important hair care tips. To the audience, as Ella just mentioned, hair care shouldn't be a major concern when it comes to swimming. If you just follow those basic tips and enjoy yourself in the depths of the water. Thanks again, Ella, and we'll see y'all in the pool. Class, what you see on my face are goggles. I do not want you to use goggles in the beginner swimming class. I want you to learn how to swim without the goggles first. It is very important that you learn to open your eyes while in the water. Once you've mastered that technique, then feel free to use the goggles. It's important that you know how to see everything that's around you while you're swimming. If someone is swimming in front of you, diving off of a diving board, or any other thing that may require that you are able to see. So get comfortable swimming without the goggles. The goggles are good to keep chlorine out of your eyes as well as to keep the water out of your eyes. First, remember, learn to open your eyes first. This is the back crawl, a common stroke in swimming. It is one of the 4 competitive strokes. In this section, you'll learn in a gradual manner how to swim on your back and eventually the back crawl. It's good to learn to swim on your back because it would allow you to use other muscles in your body while previously used muscles can rest, especially in lap swimming. It can allow you to obtain air while you are swimming and, of course, allow you to show off in front of your friends. The key to learn to swim on your back is, again, relaxation. Get comfortable on your back at first. Learn how to glide. In order to achieve this, let's go over some key rules in back gliding. Always keep your head back and straight. Keep your arms close to the body and your legs close and straight. Keep your hips up to the surface as much as possible. Relax, relax, relax. Stay as straight as possible. And yes, eyes should be open and you should be breathing. Here's how to get started with the back glide. First, go to the side of the pool on the shallow end. Place your hands on the side of the pool. Place your feet on the wall of the pool. Lay your head back to a straight position. While keeping the body positioned, slowly push off. Allow your arms to relax straight and against the side of the body. Keep your legs straight and your toes pointed. Be sure not to tense up. Stay relaxed. Allow the water to hold you up. Be sure not to sit up. Keep your back as straight as possible. If water gets in your face, make an adjustment in your head position by tilting it forward slightly. Keep your hips upward as close to the surface as possible. The harder you push off the wall, the faster you will glide. Repeat this process until you feel comfortable, at least 15 times. To stand up, lean forward. Draw your legs underneath you, spread your arms for balance, and stand up. Now that you've gotten comfortable with the back glide, it's time to add our old friend, the flutter kick, which we learned earlier. This time we will do the flutter kick upside down. Therefore, it is important for you to expand your energy kicking upward. Here's a demonstration. Keep the same body position you used with the back glide. This time, add your flutter kick. Remember, keep your knees straight and kick from the hips with short, fast kicks. Do it on the side of the pool first to get a feel for it. Once you have practiced your technique on the side of the pool, your next step will be to do it in the water. First, get into the shallow end of the water and assume the same position you used with the back glide. Push off the side of the pool just as with the back glide. This time, add your flutter kick again. Be sure to relax, keep your body as straight as possible. Kick up and from the hips and keep your arms next to your side. It's normal in the early stages of the practice to get water in your face. Just make head adjustments slightly upward to keep the water out of your eyes. The kickboard can also be used to assist you with learning the back glide. Hold the kickboard on your chest, head back, and push off the side of the pool and begin your kick. Remember, the kickboard is only used as a support. It is not to be substituted for your swim skills. It would allow you to relax even more and concentrate on your flutter kick. Practice the back glide, the flutter kick, with and without the board until you feel comfortable. The objective here is to become very comfortable without the board. After you feel you are ready, move on to the next lesson where you will learn to add the arm pull. Don't feel rushed. Take your time to add the arm action. First, we will do out of the water what we call flapping. When flapping, you will bring the arms up the side of your body. Open them and push straight down. This should be a quick and smooth action. The hands should be pointed straight down until they reach about chest level. Then they should be turned outward and pressed straight down, returning to their original position at the side. This should be repeated over and over while on your back with our old friend, the flutter kick. With the arm action, you should move through the water easier than before. Practice this technique out of the water before trying it in the water. You should assume the same position in the water which you had earlier. Start your back glide with the flutter kick. Then add in the flapping. You will feel yourself moving the water near your body as you push down. You should push down hard, but with a smooth motion. Be sure to keep your arms and hands beneath the water during this movement. Continue to repeat this process. Now you are traveling at a faster speed on your back. At this point, you should have achieved more confidence and have become more comfortable with swimming on your back. Repeat this stroke for as long and as far as you feel comfortable. Practice, practice, practice. Then move on to the next lesson. We've reached the final lesson for this class, which is the back crawl. Let's take another look at the back crawl before we try it. Keys to remember during learning the back crawl. Relax, keep your body straight, keep your head straight, keep arms straight while exiting out of the water. The arms should remain straight until they are returned to the water. The back crawl is the fastest stroke performed on your back. It's not considered a relaxing stroke. However, when performed properly, some level of relaxation can be achieved. This stroke is excellent for a good workout. It requires the usage of the majority of the body's muscles, especially shoulders, arms, legs. Now let's begin. Assume the same position at the edge of the pool as you did with the other backstroke you've practiced. We continue to use our old friend, the flutter kick, to perform the back crawl. Push off slowly from the edge of the pool. Keep your head straight back, your body as straight as possible, and your toes pointed straight. As you glide from the end of the pool, allow your arms and hands to relax and fall directly to the side of your body. Immediately after pushing off the pool wall, start your flutter kick, just as you did in the previous backstroke we practiced. While continuing with the arms dropped to the side, it's time to start the back crawl, arm pull. Lift your arm straight out of the water. Be sure to keep the arm straight. This allows the arms to exit the water as easily as possible. While continuing a rapid kick, bring the arms straight up and all the way back until it enters the water. At this point, your arms should be straight, extended directly above the head. Once the hand re-enters the water, keep fingers closed and push the water straight down in a hard, smooth motion along the side of the body until your hand lightly touches the outside of your thigh. Your elbows should be bent slightly. While you're pushing the water downward, be sure to press down hard as your arms and hand push the water downward. This will increase your movement and speed through the water. As your right arm begins its downward motion, the same process should be repeated with the left arm. This should be a continuous process with both arms moving at all times simultaneously. In order to assist the arms in exiting the water easily, the shoulders should be rotated or turned upward as the opposite arm begins its entry into the water. As the shoulders rotate, the entire body rotates slightly in a rocking-like manner. When the body rotates to one side, the arm is out of the water, which makes it easier to bring your arm out of the water. You should attempt to keep the head straight even though the body is rotating. Practice this technique out of the water first so you can get a feel for the rhythm and coordination of the arm pull. The flutter kick should be performed continuously throughout this stroke. Here are some key points to remember. Be sure to continue kicking upward, rapidly but slightly beneath the water's surface. Keep your head back, keep your hips as close to the surface as possible. Keep arms straight during the exit of the water and until they re-enter the water. Bend elbows slightly as you push water upward, rapidly towards the side of the thigh. Keep fingers closed at all times. Rotate the shoulders and the body from left to right to increase efficiency and get the arms out of the water and back into the water. It is normal for some water to splash on your face as the arms pass. This will decrease as your stroke improves. Keep your eyes open. It is only water. Be sure you are practicing in no more than waist-deep shallow water. Also, be sure to know where the end of the pool is located. This way you can avoid injury from hitting the side of the pool. To some, the back crawl may seem a bit awkward at first, but through practice, the stroke will gradually become easier as your confidence builds. So keep practicing, continue to practice this stroke and other strokes at your own pace until you feel comfortable. Then it's time to show out in front.